My people, what up, though? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
My name is Ekik Nerp.
Leywap. Is that
Ekik
it?
Nerp. Ekik Nerp. N-A-U. Leywap.
No doubt. We get those of you who have seen the episodes know where we're going with that. We don't even got what's understood don't got to be explained. You know what I'm saying? What's happening, B? How you doing? Check in, B.
I'm cool. Man, I was gonna tell you right before we started recording. Tahir had his freshman orientation on Saturday. Man, like
I saw the picture, the joint you posted him running up on the hill. Shit looked like the Baldwin Hill joint on TV or whatever. Like
bro,
he go to school. What's the nigga name from All American? Spencer. He go to school with Spencer.
It reminded me of the program with Omar Epps, man, when he got to the school and they had like a pep rally. That's what it reminded me of.
And that's exactly how that shit feels. It's out the way. That shit is out the way, and it's a beautiful scenery. The campus is dope, man. But I was tripping because Justice started freshman year out here, right? Like when I got him, like a week before I had to send him back. And what I tripped off of was the feeling with Justice. There was a pride, but I was like, it's finally my turn. Kind of like thing, you know what I'm saying? Like he's finally, now it's my turn. You know what I'm saying? Like he's at this stage, it's my turn. And it was a different feeling with Tip because I have the experience of reflecting. I mean, I've been there literally since day one, but no, like active. You know what I'm saying? Like not knowing no summertime shit. So I've been there his whole educational career, man. So it just hit me differently, man. But it was dope, man. The coach of the football team who runs the whole thing, I grew up with, so it was dope to see him. He has like 5 or 6 kids from his basketball team who are going there. It was just dope to see the environment. Like it hit me like, damn, man. Like this cat is really about to be in high school next year. Like, damn, you know. And it was just different than when it was with Jeff. It was just like, I mean, here we go again. You know, we signed up another 4 years. We here, but damn, man, this cat is going to high school. So that was real cool. And it was just me and him that went. So you know, it was like an opportunity for me to just kind of share that moment with him, which was really really cool, man. But other than that, shit, I'm cool. You know, Shy's birthday is on Sunday, so we're gonna celebrate her birthday on Sunday at the house. Yeah, you know, back to the normal swing of things now that we back from Arizona, man. But other than that, I don't really got nothing to report.
That's what's up. What you gonna do for 420 and your birthday and your daughter's birthday and Jesus and Easter? Like it's a lot going on.
Yeah, I ain't a Christian, so Jesus don't typically play a part on Easter for me. But the crazy thing is that weed ain't gonna be involved because I don't smoke no more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna be celebrating her birthday, but you know, not getting high.
That's what's up. Bellhead, what's good? Check in, bro.
Everything's good with me, man. It's been raining basically like I think since Wednesday out here, man. It's been crazy. It's like I got my sump pump put in last weekend. So not this past weekend, the weekend before. And I think it's rained pretty much at some level every day last week, with the exception of like 1 or 2, maybe. So when I woke up this morning, I'm like, damn, it's bright as hell outside. But then I'm like, oh, I'm not used to seeing the sun. You know, like, so that's why I felt like it was so bright. But got warm today. It's been cold out here, man. Like y'all got snow, right, Chief, in Connecticut? Like a couple of days ago?
Little bit. Nothing crazy, but it was enough was enough. You know what I'm saying?
Any bit in April was crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
is that normal?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so my birthday April 2nd, and it snowed on my birthday like 6 out of the last 8 years. So
damn.
Yeah, that's wild. So yeah, man, I tomorrow they do like the spring leaf pickup. So I logged off of work at 4:00 and then just went in the yard, man. I was in the yard for like 2-3 hours. I was clean my gutters, got the leaves up. I found a little hack. I climbed on my roof with a leaf blower and cleaned my gut that way. So that was fast. Think about it. I gave my dad a couple of years ago. Last time I got him clean, I get this motherfucker $300 to clean my gutters.
Shit took 20 minutes.
Because one, I had to climb up on a ladder to clean the back of the house, but it's a very easy walkable roof, and even if I fell, it's not that high because it's the part that like, the addition of the house, which is only 1-story bedroom, and then front I climbed.
Hey,
Yeah, your
turn
mic.
turn it down a little bit. You're not popping, but you're like, I think because it's going high, you're breaking in and out. Turn your mic down a little bit.
That better?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then I went I climbed through Chase's window, and that's a little steeper, but I got that done, and yeah, man, I was out there just working. Got like 11, I'm probably like 12,000 steps right now. But yeah, that's it, man. Not really going on with me. Like nothing week over week. I'm good.
That's what's up. Me, I took today, bro, fellas. I took today and I made it a work day on vacation. And I
Oh, you're off this week?
Yeah, on spring break. And I worked legitimately for like 7 hours today. Like just getting the book signed and getting the address labels and shipping them out, making some drop-offs, finished up a couple poems, putting together like my upcoming events list. Got a lot of shit going on, a lot of shit moving, feeling real good about it. But today felt good just to kind of like work on the poetry. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt good in that regard. So I'm gonna do it again tomorrow morning for a little bit. It's a joint in New York tomorrow. There's gonna be some good inspiration for me. So I'm gonna pull up on that. And
you're going to New York tomorrow and in Boston on Wednesday?
In Boston on Wednesday, yep. So
you been getting your oil change?
I'm in that rental now, B. You know what I'm saying? My truck in the shop getting fixed.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I had a rental for like 2 weeks now. So
like fuck that oil. Go fuck about this oil.
Yeah. Nah, the light came on, said you need oil change, but I called the company and said they got like another 800 or something miles. So probably after these 2 trips, I'll be done pulled up on them like, yo, it's here. You give me a new car to change it.
Yeah, that ain't your if that bitch blow up. That ain't your
It's not my problem. But yo, I wanted to I ain't trying to put the melancholy on the combo right now, but the joint been weighing on me, man. The young boy from LSU.
Yeah, I saw that.
You see that, the Kyron Lacey joint. So I didn't really do my research in regards to the story, but from what I gathered, from what I remember, just social media clips, it was like a hit and run type thing where he got into an accident and somebody died.
Yeah,
and he turned himself in. They let him out, you know what I'm saying? And the weight of social media, posting his mugshot everywhere, and the NFL pulling back from his draft status and yada yada, like overwhelming for him. And money committed suicide, bro.
Yeah, I knew suicide part.
Say what, Bell? Or Prentice? I don't matter.
Go ahead, Prentice.
I was gonna say that he was in a police chase and he got into an accident. And prior to the cops getting him out the car, that's when he took his life. It was in the whip.
Right. Yeah, that's what I read. I'm talking about prior to the precursor to all this. He was like a hit and run prior to this. Mm-hmm. He turned himself in for it, and then the weight of all of it was on him, and then I guess he got into police chase and ended up taking his own life.
Yeah, and his court date I think was like scheduled for tomorrow.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I didn't know about the
So I'm a read
vehicular homicide.
I'm gonna read what his lawyer said, and it said Kyron was a young man with immense promise, and he was crushed under the weight of irresponsible and prejudiced process. The negative barrage on social media, the circulation of his mugshot by nearly every news outlet rather than a standard photo, the recent civil lawsuit filed against him that named another defendant who mysteriously wasn't charged with the crime, only him. And the overall tone of coverage painted a deeply biased picture before he even had a chance to defend himself. There was never a presumption of innocence, which was exemplified by the NFL pulling his draft card over mere accusations without affording him the slightest chance to defend himself. The pressure and perception likely became unbearable.
Yeah, I didn't
And when
know
you look,
that.
and when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, yo, like this man didn't get a chance to even barely get a chance to advocate for himself, like to tell his side of the story. They take a mugshot, post it out there, and it seemed like he was a good dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, teenage cats gonna make some mistakes, but he ain't out here wilding.
That's the thing. We all
Money
make
was
mistakes.
money was about to get drafted and make a big bag. He was a solid football player.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably making a big bag in
Right.
in college.
Already ready already. Yeah. Yeah. So I've been thinking about that. And I should just kind of wait on it. Like that shit is just sad, bro. Like I don't know. For the people out there who got people going through stuff like this, man, you gotta check on your people, man. Make sure they're okay. I'm sure Money could have used some support in all realms of it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't talking about this. But on another note, too, a couple of people that I know personally out here wilding, doing some crazy shit, got caught, getting ready to serve some real time, couldn't handle it, and took the gun to themselves. You know what I'm saying? So while you out here, for the cats out here wilding, doing this crazy shit, thinking it's cool, trying to live that street life, when that real pressure and them years mount up on you, like the game changes a little bit. So start thinking about the reality of, you know, of the consequences of what you're doing and start making some better decisions. I know it's easier said than done, but surround yourself with some better people, put yourself in a better position some way, somehow, to avoid having to deal with these circumstances, because the weight of it all is a real thing, and you don't think about it until it's right in your face. You know what I'm saying? I saw a video just the other day of a mother going to the courthouse, hugging her son, like, you know, give me a hug. And she's like, there's nothing I can do for you. Like I've tried my best, and you know, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do for you. You're gonna have to deal with the consequences of your choices. And he broke down in tears, like, Mom, I'm sorry. And it's like, listen, we tried, but until it walks up on you, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what it's really like. So just try to make some better decisions for yourself, so you don't put yourself in a situation to hurt yourself and the people who care about you.
Word up, man. That's tragic. It's tragic
Yeah.
for everybody involved, bro. It really is. And it sounds like, I think people are acknowledging, from what I've heard about his character, that he made some mistakes and shit, like everybody else, man. But I think it just really speaks to the weight of social media nowadays, bro. Like you want to get better. It almost seems like you can't be on social media if you've done something publicly and you're trying to avoid criticism, bro. Like social media is the last place you want to be, and the media has no desire to be neutral or to be honest. They always kind of lead their titles with some type of bias, man. So it's hard to function and get better when your problems are put on blast, man, and there's nowhere to go to escape it. Every time you turn on your phone, you're gonna see a picture of yourself and somebody talking shit. It's gonna fuck with you mentally, no matter how much how strong
Mhm.
you are.
No, definitely, 100%. But yeah, man, rest in peace to that young man. And for those of you who find yourself in similar situations, man, get yourself around some good people. Don't be
Mhm.
afraid to talk about it. You know what I mean? Put that stuff out there and try to get yourself to a point of healing, man, because we all need it.
Yeah, man, and I know we emphasize a lot. Get yourself around some good people, which I couldn't agree more. Um, but also, man, see a doctor, right? Like let's not forget, man, that depression is a clinical diagnosis. You know what I'm saying? Like can be a clinical diagnosis. So let's not minimize. I'm not saying that you were saying this, Chief, but let's not minimize the ramifications of depression, right? Like
Mhm.
Right. No, for
that
sure.
story. That story is a depiction of how bad it can really get, right? Or
Quickly,
whatever
too.
whatever he was dealing with. Like good people, therapy is good, right? All that stuff are essentials. But don't be afraid to see a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like if like because people there's so many more people going through these things than you realize. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Mhm.
like if you go to a doctor, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna look crazy because I'm going to see a doctor. Nah, man, it's people that you know and love be going to that same doctor. You just don't know it because they don't talk about it. You know what
Mhm.
I'm
Right.
saying? So,
And in addition just to add to your point too, Bell, sometimes it goes beyond just a conversation or some mental clarity or some stress relievers. Like there is legit medication that
Yeah.
that has assisted people in, you know, pulling themselves out of this depression. So please consult a doctor as well, for sure.
Was that your check-in?
I think I was done with my check-in. I don't really have much. I mean, I'm feeling good right now, man. I'm feeling good. The book is moving. I'm
How
waiting to
many
see what
copies?
happens. I only bought 100 right now. I got 17 left.
Yeah,
And
That's
let's
what's up.
go.
That's
and
what's up.
I'm probably gonna. What's crazy is I'm trying to like hold on to them so I can sell at the show this on Wednesday. But I'm like, if they're gone, they're gone. I just gotta order some more, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, could you overnight them?
huh?
Could you overnight them?
I'm pretty certain, bro, because I ordered them on a Sunday and I got them on a Wednesday. But the thing said 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? The thing said 2 weeks, and I got them in a couple of days.
But I'm saying if you overnighted them, you might get it even faster. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Well, not
I'm a matter of fact,
overnight.
yeah, you'll get them overnight, right? Because you overnighted them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly. But go ahead, Bell. You curated this conversation for tonight, so talk to us. Where are we going with this, B?
Yeah, before we start, just want to, I mean, especially on the heels of what you just said, man, just want to restate our mission for everybody, which is to create a safe space for Black men to openly engage in conversations surrounding their mental health. Because as Chief just depicted with that horrific story, we all going through something, man. We all going through something. And I had two conversations today with two very close friends. And one got me thinking about about this topic a little bit. But it's my man. He was a single dad just like me. Unfortunately, he was a single dad to some very unfortunate circumstances, due to some very unfortunate circumstances. But his daughter's about to be in college, and we was just talking, and he's just basically like, like he's like, Bell, like I don't. He's like, I don't know what to do now. He's like, because basically, the only person I was responsible for don't really need me no more. So and he did everything he was supposed to do. Like college is taken care of. She don't got to worry about nothing. Like everything is set up. And then I'm like, well, now it's time for you, man. Like now it's time to focus on yourself. And he's in sales just like me. And we were just talking. And I think he's at the place where I was at a couple years ago, where it's like he feels like he's called to do more now. But anyway, that whole conversation just got me thinking. And that coupled with a video I saw on Instagram, and the video I'm about to reference, you've seen it 1,000 times, right? It was a young lady celebrating her birthday at a restaurant, bunch of family, it looks like family friends around, a lot of love. And she was probably like late 20s, early 30s, something like that. She was younger. And she was opening up these extravagant gifts, like multiple Louis bags, multiple very, very expensive sunglasses. And for some reason, as I'm watching this, and this is just kind of how I'm wired, I guess. I'm watching this and I'm like, the first thing I said was, does she own a house? Like that was my first thought, because seeing her open those gifts, which was great, like that was amazing to see. But in just the 3 gifts I saw alone, like easily, arguably, no less than $4,000 just in those 3 gifts. Like no less than 4,000, probably 5, right? Probably 5, maybe even 6, but no less than 4. And I'm like, that could be a down payment on a house, And again, that's where my mind went. And hey, she may have a house, right? I'm not saying she does or she doesn't, but that's where my mind went. But here's why that's important. And I don't even know if you guys know this, but depending on what statistic you look at, the percentage of Black home ownership in the United States is between, again, depending on what statistic you look at, 42 to 46%. So 42 to 46% of Black Americans own a home versus 72 to 75% of white Americans who own a home. So we're almost at half, you know what I mean? And Why that's important is home ownership is the greatest predictor of wealth. So again, that young lady may have several houses. I don't know, but that's just where my mind went. So I got to thinking, literally as I was raking my yard up today, and I'm like, yo, man, like how my question is to you all is how far do we plan out? Because to your point earlier, Prentice, with the social media, man, social media. I saw a post the other day. It was I think she was a realtor, but she says something so simple and so profound. She's like, don't allow social media to make you. Don't allow social media to convince you that people still don't have brown cabinets and white appliances.
I like that.
And I'm like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, 21-year-olds living in high rises paying $4,000 a month is not normal, right? Like, or she didn't say normal. It's not the expectation, I think she said. And she's like, there's still people living regular lives. Don't allow social media to make you believe that nobody has a regular life anymore. So anyway, there's a number of questions I have, but the overarching question is what's the plan, right? That's what we entitled this episode. And before I even get into my questions, what do you guys have any thoughts about the scenario or how I look at that scenario? Because I'm just curious.
My initial thought is there has to be a point, and this is just what I assume, man. Just my experiences and the places the rooms I'm getting access into. There comes a point where you move up, whether it's your quality of living. Let's say quality of living, right? This girl has all these bags and stuff. There's gonna come a point in time where you get around people who have all the same bags as you do. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a Birkin, everybody has a Louis, everybody has all of these expensive items you got for your birthday. What pops up in my head, and it's probably because where I'm at now is like, okay, then what? Where do you place your value? Like, where does your value or the things that
Yeah.
matter to you come in when the person to your right, your left, in front of you, and behind you has the same things that you have? You know what I'm saying? Does that like, do you peak right there, or do you start to wonder or search for something else? And I feel like with the younger generation today, it may be a peak. You know what I'm saying? Like things are very, very instant. Like you said, social media convinces people that everybody's living in high rises and shit. So once you have something that resembles what society's idea of success is, do you really thrive for more? Or do you feel like you already made it? And so you cruise, quote unquote cruise, right? Like
Yeah.
you've acquired these things that everybody talks about, that everybody highlights and acknowledges people for. What do you do after that? So that's like the first thought that comes to mind for me. It's just like, okay, then what?
Mm-hmm.
Once everybody has that shit around you.
What about you, Chief? Any thoughts on the scenario or my take on the scenario?
Um, Not really. I mean, I think I would have had a similar thought. I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone as far as a house thing, but I would have. I've just never myself have never been really like a materialistic type of cat. Like I'm not labels type of dude. You know what I mean? Like in my lane. I think honestly where my mind went was just like, what are you spending your money on now? And we both have like sneaker addictions, but it's been almost a year, maybe more, since I bought a pair of sneakers.
Bought some
Hell
yesterday.
no. Hell
You bought some yesterday? Yeah, I didn't. I haven't bought a pair of sneakers. I haven't bought a pair of sneakers in a very long time.
It's getting out of hand.
Last week.
Like to the point where like my house isn't big. You know what I'm saying? Like my house isn't big. So it's getting to the point where I'm like, I gotta take a drastic measure. Like literally around me. Like there's 20 pair of shoes in this room I'm in right now. And this is the spillover room. Like
That's hard.
so
I like that. I like that. Good job.
it's crazy. No, Prentice, it's not a good job. I need to get my life
job.
No,
Peace.
that's
You look,
good.
but to the point of the party, If you go in there right now and look at the amount of money you spent on sneakers that you wear just
So
because you have to wear them, like you don't
no,
even
No, you
have
don't.
nowhere to go.
no. So this is a good topic or a good point. So my sister Brianna Brianna's picked up my sneaker thing, right? So she got a bunch of shoes. And then she's like, "Well, Dad, will you wonder where I got it from?" Something like that. She always says. I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't start buying sneakers till after I bought a house." That's what I always say to her. I didn't start buying sneakers till after I bought a house. Like I owned a house to put them shoes in. You know what I'm saying? And that's again, I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but that's just where my priorities lie. To your point, Prentice, like that's just where my priorities were. Like
Hmm.
I had a cousin. Shout out to my cousin Irvin. My cousin
Shout out to
Irvin.
Irvin.
Yeah, my cousin Irv was the dude my cousin Irvin is he's I think he's uh thir- 13 or 14 years older than me. Anyway, um he was the person at the cookouts back in the day that people would avoid because Irv was going to drill it in your head. You need to buy a house. You need to buy a house. You need to buy a house. Like, I mean, to the point where it was like, all right, bro, I'm just trying to get some macaroni and cheese and some potato salad. Like, you pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of time he was on. And he would always tell people, like, man, if you want people like, I'm about to buy a new car. He's like, no, buy a house. I'll never forget this. I mean, he's like, you can buy a house, you can close on a house and a car in the same day. If you buy the house first and you buy the car second. He's like, but if you buy the car first, you ain't gonna be able to close on the house most likely. So I that always stuck with me. So that's why I listen. You know what I'm saying? And I bought my house early, relatively early, but maybe that's why where my mind goes because I didn't really start buying material things until after I got a house. But not like I faced hardship for financial hardship after that. Um, I spoke about that actually on my LinkedIn post this week on Thursday. Was 15 years with my company, so I put a LinkedIn post talking about um, how when I first started, like my house was in foreclosure, and I needed the job in order to keep my house. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was just talking about the different levels of hard, like what we deem as hard, right? The people I was shadowing that day, they kept telling me how hard the job was. And I'm like, man, being broke is hard, bro. Like, and I didn't say that to them, but it's like, pick your hard. Like that was the theme of my LinkedIn post.
Hmm.
Um, but just to jump into the questions, um, did you think, I guess the first question to everybody is, did you think you would be where you are today in your life 10, 15 years ago?
Hmm. Uh, I wanted to be. Um, 10, 15 years ago, I wanted to be here. Um, the possibility of it, no, because what I valued was different. I think the stage of my life didn't have me really thinking about a true future.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be here. You know what I mean? Like when I got here, I wasn't surprised. It wasn't like, oh damn, I really did. Like hell yeah, I always knew I could be, but I don't think it was as realistic, which kind of makes me think about like the whole shoe thing. All three of us got a problem. I just counted how many shoes I've never worn out of my closet. I got 19 pairs of shoes that I've never worn, like never have even touched.
Hey, man,
And
listen, I'm all for getting us all together and having a garage sale. Like, I
never,
might
my shoes will never be in that garage sale. And
see.
but this goes to a thought. This goes to a thought about your question. I think that there was a certain point in time. I look at my shoes differently now than I did back then. My shoes represented, and I'm just now realizing this. My shoes kind of were like the peak of my expectations of where I saw
Mm,
myself being able to get. So my shoes have always represented. If I don't make it any further than where I am right now, I have these. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm in whatever, I've lived in some okay apartments, very just okay. but I got my shoes. You know what I'm saying? And I go in my closet and I look at my shoes and I'm like, it's okay because I got my shoes. And now I look at my shoes and I'm proud of it. I'm happy of it. But there's way more that matters than all of these fucking shoes that are from the shelf to the ceiling all through the closet. You know what I mean? So I think what happens is that a lot of to answer your well, I answered your question, but just kind of piggybacking right before you asked it, going back to the bags, I think the material and those items that cost a lot are kind of like signs of like we're how far we think we can go. You know, we continue to invest in this because it's the furthest we've gone, or we can't really see ourselves getting further. Does that make sense? What kind of what I'm trying to imply? You know what I mean? Like these
Yeah.
those
Basically,
bags.
you cap yourself.
Yeah,
Like, this
yeah.
is as
You
good
place
as
a
it can
cap.
get. Yeah. Or if this is as good as it gets, this is cool.
Right. So to answer your question, I think I saw myself being able to get here, but I had a cap. And if you have a cap, it's kind of hard to look past the present or what's immediately tangible. You know what I'm saying? Like you just keep feeding yourself that in order to feel a way rather than putting that on pause and trying to look beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what happened to me. That's why I didn't see myself here, but always knew I could be here.
What about you, Chief?
I think for me, it's similar to Prentice, but I think my see myself here is a yes and no because I'm not where I want to be. And I think the biggest caveat for me is I've always wanted a gang of kids and I got them, but the stable union around it is not there. So that's where my I didn't see it happen. If you would have asked me 15 years ago if I would have 3 children by 2 different men, I would do it wasn't I would look at you.
What? Wait, huh?
3 children by 2 different women.
There we go. All right, buddy.
3 children by 2 different women. Wow, that was crazy.
You said it so sincerely, man. Like,
and I was man. I don't know, man. So no, but if you would have asked me,
everybody's welcome.
If you would have asked me 15 years ago if I would have had 3 children by 2 different women, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. And be like, there isn't a chance. Like, there's no way. That's not even, you know what I mean? That wasn't part of my plan. You know what I'm saying? So I just given the circumstances, not even that. If you would have said I'd had 3 children by 2 different women and be unmarried, that I'd look at you like, now you wildin', B. Like, that's not what I envisioned for myself. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, life has its way of teaching you a lesson. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my premonition would have gone. So to be like, yeah, I'm gonna be, this is what I have planned for myself. You know what I'm saying? So outside of that, like, I think we've had many a conversation just about kind of the glass ceilings and the ambitions and hitting goals and not being pleased and finding other goals and so on and so forth. So that process is still a part of what we're all trying to break out of instead of, you know, celebrating these moments. So I'm very pleased as to where I am right now, but I feel the excitement and the energy and the passion that goes with planning with you guys, vacations with your families, and having the governor in the house to kind of help level set you at times. You know what I'm saying? Having the intangible support on a consistent basis to kind of fuel the fire for you, or to give you the space that you need, or to call you out on your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So all of that was a part of my plan. And not having that, I think that's where I can say I didn't envision being here in that guy. But everything else, I'm very pleased with.
So I'm going to answer the question for myself in a second, but I just want to ask a 2-part question. And I think I know the answer, but I'm asking anyway. So, Prentice, for you, I know you said you didn't necessarily see yourself here. You kind of capped yourself, maxed yourself out mentally, but you knew it was always a possibility. I guess my question to both of you is, was there any level of planning to get to where you are today? Or was it kind of like, when I say planning, I mean like, I'm doing this to get this, I'm doing this to get that, I got to stop doing this to get this. Like, did any planning go into it, or was it just like, I know where I want to go, and if I just work hard enough, I'll get there?
Chief.
One more time. I thought you was talking to you, Pete. My bad.
No,
We're talking both of them.
I started by saying this is for
Saying
both of you.
Prentice. All right.
No, I didn't.
But you said Prentice, and then I tuned out. My bad. Could you repeat yourself, please? I'm sorry.
What I was saying is, what I said, I think I may know the answer to this, but the question is, where you are today, was there any level of planning or intentional moves made to get where you thought you could be, which is where you are? Or was it just like, I kind of know where I want to be, and if I work hard enough, like I'll eventually get there?
A little bit of both. It's pockets of planning, if that makes sense. It's pockets of planning, not really a consistent thought out plan from start to finish. I didn't, and this is what I'm literally in the middle of and working. I worked a lot on that today too, and I feel good about that. I feel real good about it. But it was like, starting with the end in mind and backtrack. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of process that hasn't been. That has happened, but short term. Versus long term. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the king of knocking out short term goals, but those short term goals are in line to the long term goals that haven't been all the way planned out, if that makes sense. Like I know where I want it to lead me.
Probably need more short term goals behind it to carry you through the finish line. Yeah.
So yes, but there's just like, again, I think in my case, I get so busy in certain things, like it's an agenda at a time versus the main agenda. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have use the Grammy run, for example. Like the goal is to get independent of the 9 to 5, but I haven't mapped out that whole independent plan. But in the meantime, this is a process that's going to help me get there. So let me just tackle this one and not look at the big gamut of it all. You dig what I'm saying? And I think that's what's been my thing. So the plan is there, but it's just pockets of planning versus the entire plan.
Quick question, Prentice. Is it hypothetically, is the long plan contingent on the short plans? Meaning, like, bang out this Grammy. If I win this Grammy, if I'm even nominated, now I'm going to plan the next step.
So thinking about it now, I think that's how I've moved. But after, again, meeting with some different people and listening to them different perspective, now it's the plan is the plan. And whether or not whatever happens in the middle doesn't slow down the plan. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at now. But it took me talking to, like, it really, really talked me to, like, my dude Keith, even with Stu. Like it took me, like, really, like, somehow getting it from that perspective, like, nigga, like, this the plan, like, and what you've told me 1,000,001 different times. I need to be able to come into the office, pick up the portfolio, and get to where you got by having it all laid out on the desk. So the plan says, if I put the plan on the table, anybody can replicate it. You know what I'm saying? From top to bottom. And that's kind of where I'm really in the fold of doing right now. And it feels kind of good, but it's also super challenging for me because I find myself having to, like, sit back and educate myself on different parts of the plan prior to being able to execute it. Like, just in terms of, like, the business acumen, like learning how to successfully put together a P&L type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that, all that is a matter, but it's still, like, stuff that I don't know, or like you said, we can outsource, but I want to learn this stuff too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can outsource it. And because my whole thing with both of you guys is, like, creative's going to create, and you're not getting paid to do a balance sheet. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people for that. So anyway, my bad. Prince, I know you were trying to answer.
My biggest issue is that I've never attempted or even learned how to play the long game with goals. And I'm just now about to embark on my first serious journey of a long game, which is only because of Sarai and her planting the seed to get the ball rolling. Um, my getting to where I am now has been a result of I'm even like I feel like I'm even further behind than Chief in the sense of I've just made decisions to do certain things because I felt like I needed to do them, and most of those were internal decisions that have led to me realizing, oh, if I do this, then that can lead to this. So it's not even like I've made short term goals and then saw the results and was like, yeah, that shit was planned out and I executed it. It just was a short term goal. It's more like I've been, in a way, like shooting in the dark. I just know this is something I need to do. So then I do it and it culminates in something that teaches me if you do this, this is what you'll receive. Um, it's like if I use justice, for example, I always knew I was going to get custody. I always wanted custody, but I fucked around and had what? I had two other kids and one on the way before I got custody of them. That definitely wasn't part of the fucking plan. You know what I'm saying? And then, but because of my diligence, because of me not giving up, because of me remaining present, because of me just doing what I could with the time I had and with him when he was away, then COVID happens. And because his mom's a nurse, and that makes it a lot easier for me to get him. It wasn't planning that got me custody, it was circumstances. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really take credit for that. However, at the same time, I did find a healthy relationship. I did find a stable woman. I did have a roof over my head that he could live in that provided him with the space to be able to come. But I can't say, yeah, this was part of the plan. But then also, once he got here, then I had to figure out what the fuck this looks like because I didn't make any
Mm,
long term goals or plans, nor did I have any short term plans that were intentional in order to get him. So when I got him, it was like, okay, well, we're here now. And
right.
I think that the experience would have been differently on some scale if I would have made some short term plans. But again, I'm not used to making long term goals. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of used to assessing what's going on right now in the moment, what I need to fix. And that kind of educates me. So I kind of got to nowadays get away from that so I can learn in my 40s what it's like to make plans and to watch them come through. And that's why the Grammys was the biggest thing I've ever done for myself because that
Mm,
was the first absolute, just deliberate thing that was all on my own that I said I was going to do. And I saw it through and got enough of a result to be like, oh, okay, this is how that shit works. You make a plan, you say this is what you're going to do, you do that shit, and you get a result. And if you don't get exactly what you want, you do get something in return. You get some type of deposit.
right.
So, yeah. So now I'm trying to learn how to Grammy my life, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Actually
it's
make a plan and see it through.
that's interesting because I think um, the Grammys were a pivotal moment for both of you.
Absolutely.
I'm saying, like, I feel like Chief more than you. Chief has always just been like, kind of, yeah, I'm nice at what I do, and I'll share it occasionally. You know, you can come, people gonna pull up when I perform, but I'm not necessarily posting often. But I think the Grammy run got him very deliberate about how to market himself. You know, and so for me, it was good as a fan to see him in front more, and which also allowed people to see him in front more, which was really dope. But for me, I'll answer the questions as well. So here's my issue. My issue is um, I do plan. I do plan, but I don't plan. You got this is actually you two potentially could be better short-term planners than me. Potentially. Um, because I get so locked in on a long-term plan, like that focus does I don't waver that focus. I'll give you a perfect example. So my plan in the next, at this point, 4 years is to buy a beach house, right? And I'm nowhere near where I need to be for that, but I got the end in mind. So I'm doing things to set myself up, saving. Yeah. I'm so locked in on that plan. I haven't really done anything for myself other than buying myself sneakers. Like the sneakers I bought yesterday was $71, right? Like so, it wasn't like I'm breaking a lot of bread on shoes. Anyway, I'm so locked in on that long term plan that there's this watch I want, and it's expensive. And I was always told that like if you can't buy something 3 times, then you can't afford it, right? And I can afford it, but I'm like, if I buy this watch, how far is this going to set me back for my house in 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like that dialed in on the long term plan. So I'm struggling with it. Like I'm struggling. And the the cost of the watch pales in comparison to what I need to have for to buy the house and the savings. I can make that up in short. Like I can make that up. But the way I'm wired is like, yeah, but the plan is to get there in 4 years. This money, no matter how much it is in comparison, it's significant. So that could get you off your job. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm struggling going back and forth. And I'm like, well, I could just use my bonus to buy it. Then I'm like, well, you could also use your bonus to get you closer to buying that house. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's all these different things that are going through my mind. So I put, and Chief will tell you, I put like exactly where I am today. I wrote that shit out when I was 23. You know what I'm saying? Like like in terms of, I didn't know. The thing is, like Prentice, I didn't know necessarily how, but I knew if I was going to get to where I want to go, it would involve taking risks. And sometimes I minimize or I forget the risks I take. But when I had posted about my 15 years with my company, my former boss is like, he was like, Bells, congrats. He's like, man, one thing about you've taken risks your whole career or something like that. He said, like I don't settle when things are good. I get uncomfortable because I know that the though uncomfortable, the reward could be greater. Or like I learned the hard way, in my company, or you could fail. You know what I'm saying? But to me, the reward is greater than the possibility of failing. So my challenge right now, where it's like, did I have a picture of myself for here today? Yeah, I did. I did. With the exception of being married. I didn't want any more kids at that time. Like after I had Bree, I was um pretty determined not to have any more kids just because of the whole experience. But um so I did dream of where I am today. I did plan for where I am today. My challenge is when I made those goals, they seemed very lofty at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was making like $37,000 a year at the time. Actually, shit. I was broke when I made those goals. Like I couldn't even afford my mortgage at that time. But anyway, my challenge now is I wrote those down because somebody told me I should, and I believed it, but didn't necessarily. I believed it that it's possible, but didn't necessarily know if I could do it. But my challenge now is I have to sit down and do that same exercise again, right? Because um, we all know we're gonna be older longer than we're gonna be younger. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where I'm at right now. Like I've been dragging my feet a little bit on getting that plan, even though I have things in place that will I'm gonna be taken care of, but I'm not intentional. I'm not intentional about that's not necessarily true. I am intentional about what like the end will look like, but when I say the end, I mean retirement. But I'm not like I'm not as deliberate. Like I don't have those. I couldn't rattle off to you what retirement. Whereas when I was 23, I could rattle off to you what I would be making in whatever year. So that's where I need to get pick up my intention.
You gonna say something, Chief?
No, I'm listening.
You know what comes to mind? Some people, some people are able to, like, let's see. Some people are able to have a long term goal and not require short term to keep them motivated. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, and you sound like you strike me as one of them people. Like, you strike me as the type of person. It doesn't matter if that's. I remember you telling me that you wrote where you are now down when you were hella young. You strike me as one of those people where it doesn't matter if it's a 6 month plan or a 4 year plan, because once you have something in your mind, you go for it. Versus those people who need incremental benchmarks
yeah,
in order to make it to that point. So, like, listening to the story about the watch, it's like, but is that really a goal? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not implying that it's not. I'm just in my head, like, okay, maybe that's just something to pick up along the way. It's like a want, but it's not
yeah,
necessarily a goal. But even if it is a goal, maybe there's one that's more important, like the beach house, and therefore that one holds less significance. You know what I'm saying? So when you bring that up, like about the watch, it's like coming from you. It's like, I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, that don't strike me as something that's really gonna get in the way, because again, the way you're even thinking about that shit, like, it sounds like it's not gonna make a dent, but it's gonna be a blemish enough to remind you that you're X amount of dollars further away from what you need to
yeah,
accrue. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And honestly, the watch is I can get locked in. You know what I'm saying? I can get locked in, and I don't. I'll just have my head down. I just have my head
Hmm.
down, and for me, it's just like I don't really do a lot for myself. You know what I'm saying? Outside, like I said, shoes. That's not about none. Like I would give 98% of these shoes away right now if somebody needed them more than me. Like so, it's not.
Right.
They used to hold. They used to be how you feel about your shoes is how I used to feel about them. Like not that long
Hmm.
ago. Like,
Hmm.
but I think now because if I had a bigger house, maybe I wouldn't feel like that. But because my house is just taking up so much space, I'm like, and then like I'm saving for Chase, but it's like man, that motherfucker wears Spider Man and Ninja Turtle sneakers. Like he ain't really think about these joints.
Yeah.
But no, like that me buying it would be me just doing something for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because like I do for a lot of people, and I'm like that's a long term goal. Like I could do something for myself in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? Like that's because I mean shit the way the way these stock prices is going, I'm not sure if 4 years is going to be enough. You know what I mean? Like I may need another year or two. So that's why I'm
Hmm.
like, well, in the meantime, like I can do something nice for myself. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Um, go ahead.
Chief, for you, I think for me, watching you get your house together has been dumb motivating, like
Has
crazy
been what?
motivating.
Oh, motivated. I thought you
Crazy.
said underrated. Okay.
Nah, like dumb motivating, but like even that living room wall, bud, and then all that lumber was there for years because I ain't come out a whole lot. That lumber was there, and then it was like, oh, this nigga found out he got windows behind the wall, and then there was windows, and then that shit got fixed, and then nigga, you gutted the kitchen and then getting that rebuilt, and then that bathroom. I still think you should just make it to a studio, nigga, and then but watching you, like, with life happening, you know what I'm saying, then the water shit in the basement happens. You know what I'm saying? Like watching how you're able to take, and like I told you last week, but like when shit happened to you, nigga, that shit happened in like heavy degrees, nigga. But I mean, when it's your home, I think it's a lot more significant. But like I know you haven't answered yet, but just in advance, man, like I feel like with you, you always have a way to like keep moving while upgrading. You know what I'm saying? While going through some shit. You know what I mean? It's like I don't want to say revolving door because I don't mean it like that with like the negative, but it's like you have a way of, I guess, compartmentalizing, but
So the
still always going forward. And then me popping in every once in a while out there, I can see the progress.
Mm.
And I know what the fuck you be going through. some of it. I don't even know all of it, but some. So it's like, damn, this thing be going.
But one, I want to say I appreciate that because oftentimes it doesn't feel like progress, bro.
I'm sure.
Because in my world, often it's 3 steps forward and 4 steps back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always some shit that like counteracts it. But to Bell's point, had I just planned the shit out better, I wouldn't have gone through half of the shit I went through. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably where it needs to be. And I realize that, but I think I'm learning to speak in more affirmative manner. So in realizing that, I'm coming to the understanding that I just need to do better at it instead of saying like I'm not good at it. I need to be better at it. And pardon me, that's what I'm working towards being better at planning, towards being better at following a plan, but more so the long-term plan, because I get caught up in bits and pieces of it. Like my kitchen is done, but I'm still missing the backsplash. You know what I'm saying? That shit could have been done, but
you didn't get the margin. Your granite doesn't go up on the wall like 2 inches.
No.
Oh, I thought you got the margin. Okay.
Nope, I didn't get that. But yeah, so I got some pretty ass countertops, some brand new cabinets. Just got I got my little garbage drawer. What's the name? Rum brought the joint over the day. But yeah, so just like it's moving, but there's still, like I said, it's 3 steps forward and 4 steps back. So I think being better at planning it and just setting money aside for that. But I get, this what's really kicking my ass is just softball. Shorty played for the. I was telling Bell she played for the Blue Jays. She played for the Toronto Blue Jays. She got a game everywhere all the time. Like I was thanking God that they canceled this past weekend's game because of the rain, so I was able to stay home and get some work done, which pissed me off too because I was so locked in, but I didn't even run the past 3 days. I was locked in. I got a lot done over the past couple of days, and I feel real good about it. You guys will start to see the results of all of that in the next couple of months. So I'm always excited to hear some feedback from you guys. But yeah,
balance. Yeah, man. It's to Prentice's point, man. Everything is relative, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the lumber is crazy, but it was legit.
Had that lumber forever.
It's legit lumber.
Years, bro.
I still got wild sheetrock on the front porch too.
Yeah, I gotta yeah, so another conversation. I know we're coming up on time, but I want to ask what does good look like for you all now? And I'm not any category, whatever, however you want to define it. What does good look like for you now? We're talking about planning. So, but what does good look like for you now?
Good looks like doing what I said I'm gonna do in efforts to continue leveling up. So good looks like, Mia's got a tournament in New Jersey next weekend. You're gonna be spending this money. You need to go sell a couple books, get a couple shifts in at the hospital to have that bread put aside, so you don't have to worry about dipping into that fund that goes to for your backsplash. You know what I'm saying? And being able to just implement those small little gestures to help me do what I got to do looks like good. Looks like accomplishing small goals and efforts to get to these big goals. But then good also looks like now knowing what these big goals are. And there's several of them. There's the administration goal. There's the house goal. There's the kids goal. There's the poetry goal. There's a bunch of different goals you got to obtain, and you can slightly fuse them all together, but you got to be able to have plans for each of those. And I think that's where I get so caught up in my day to day that I lack the structure to do that.
So yeah, we all could stand to slow down. We could all stand to slow down.
Good looks like so here's another thing. So now good looks like taking those 2 hours sitting in the parking lot at Mia's practice an hour away and getting some legit planning and work done in those times. You know what I'm saying? Sometime I'm walking, rehearsing some poems when I could literally be getting some paperwork done, or, you know what I'm saying, doing what I got to do in that route. So now it's like literally one thing I have been doing is I've been planning the day out. And as long as I checked off those lists in the plan, I'm feeling good. Today has been one of those days.
That's what's up. What about you, P?
I think it's 2-part. Good looks like, and I realize it's through this conversation, is that what these shoes in my closet now represents to me is too small. It's too small. You know what I mean? Like it's too small. But like I still think about shoes on a heavy level. And I'm just using that as an analogy. But
But it's
now
deep. It's deep.
it is. Now I need to work until I find something larger that gives me the same feeling that I have not already acquired. You know what I mean? So now I'm a practice, but when we get off of this bitch, I'm gonna go in my closet and I'm gonna have a talk with all my shoes and be like, yo, it's been great, but you ain't the one no more. I don't know what is the one. Well, actually I do. So the second part to that is I really think good for me right now. I know what move Sarai wants to make next. I know what she wants. And I want to be the one who has the ball in motion and is leading the ship for us to get there. You know what I mean? Like good looks like me being the reason that gets checked off of her list for something that she wants to obtain. You know what I
That's
mean? So like the birthday celebration last week, the way that went, applying that on a larger scale. So this is what you want. I got everything I want. Like real shit. Other than my truck, I'm gonna get a truck next. That's the only thing. I got
Escalate.
everything I want. Yeah, yeah, I need it. But or Yukon Denali. That I went to a Yukon too. So wanted it. I want the Denali. But so I'm gonna work on that for me. But now good looks like knowing that my actions on a regular basis, even if I don't see the fruits of my labor in the moment, are leading towards us accomplishing that. She wants a pool in our backyard with a bar. She wants a patio that can open up from the living room with the TV and a fireplace under it. So if we choose to, we can open the slide doors, have some extra space. So now good looks like me now working for us and not me. You know what I'm saying? Like us and not me. That's what good looks like. And me being able to look back on a monthly basis or daily basis, be able to be like, okay, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And not worrying about if I get the fucking retro 12s that come out, at 7 a.m., not worrying about, getting this fucking Cuban link chain that I want because I finally got a piece of jewelry and realized that I like gold. You know what I mean? Like, none of that shit matters as much as real good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That shit.
that's all hood rich stuff.
It is. It is.
You know
And
what
when
I'm
you
saying?
haven't been exposed to it
Yeah.
and you get exposed to it at a later point in life, you're like, oh, I kind of get it. You know what I mean? And again, it can kind of represent a level of accomplishment and success that at the end of the day, doesn't mean shit, but you haven't experienced it, so it means something.
It means something to you though. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Only.
like
Only.
like yeah. Like I've said a number of times on this podcast that um I didn't feel like I made it. I bought my first house at 23. I didn't feel like I made it till I was 28 when I bought my first pair of Pradas. Like
Mm,
that's when I felt like I made it, which is crazy because that's how significant that was to me though. But people look at me like I'm crazy. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But based on my upbringing and based on things I saw, like that was the true measure of success. Nobody owned a house. So I didn't know what that meant. Like I didn't know how significant that was. So that didn't really mean much to me. Them
Mm-hmm.
shoes, that's different though. You know,
Right.
so so I feel you, I guess is what I'm saying in short. But it's
them
good to
shits is them shits is in the back of the closet, not even in the
yo,
box no more.
but the ill thing is I never even had the box. I bought them shits in LA. I bought them in LA and I was in a rush to leave, and I was going to leave them in the box. And I was like, you know what? Something told me to just take them with me because I couldn't fit them in my bag. So I just took the shoes with me. And I'm glad I did because God rest the dead, Flip, he was supposed to bring them to me. He ended up dying. So I would have never got the shoes. Like the first pair of shoes I ever bought, like I would have never even got them. But no, but they are in the back of the closet somewhere. In fact, I found one the other day. Like it was like
Found one.
in a random spot.
And that's wild. You found one the other day. So that kind of says like how priorities shift. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And like how over time, like things just they don't hold the same weight. And if we can catch that now, early, like maybe we're going down that road, but if we can catch it now, it can lead towards the beach house mentality.
Yeah, but what all it is, Prentice, is to your point. I've been around people with some shit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I've been around people with some shit, and it just makes me wanna. It opens up my eyes. Like I remember my man, my cousin, my first time going to LA with him, and at the time we had like the Marriott employee cards. You know what I'm saying? So you get all the joints like $45 or whatever. And I'm like, Cuddy, I said, I got the Marriott joint, man. We can stay at, nice little Sheraton or Marriott joint for, 40 cash. He was like, oh, word, that's what's up. He was like, nah, man, I only stay in Beverly Hills. Like I only stay at the SLS. I'm like, my bad, Playboy. Right. So like,
Mm-hmm.
but that exposed, I had never been to the SLS before. So when I got there, I'm like, oh yeah, this a little better than mine. You know what I'm saying? Like this a little better than the $45 joint, but it exposed me to something more. So then my next time going to LA, I'll never forget this. I used the Marriott card and I got to the room and I called down. I'm like, yo, like, is there a better room than this? And they were like, you're in the nicest room next to the penthouse. Like the next nicest room is the penthouse. And the room was no different than what I used to stay in when I went out there. But because I was exposed to something else, like my standards just went up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because he used to always say, he's like, man, when you go on vacation, you can't downgrade how you live. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like when you go places, you can't downgrade how you live. Him staying at my Marriott versus how he lived at home would have been a downgrade for him. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't living that good yet, so like the $45 joint was good for me. But all I'm saying is, Prentice, it starts with the sneakers, and then Sarai tells you, "Oh no, I need a grotto." Then you're like, "Oh, didn't even know what a grotto was, but now I know I need to get one." You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how it happens, man. People, you get around, but it goes back to what I was saying. You just get around different circles, man. You get around different people, which again, you're in it right now. Like that's your
Mm-hmm.
last 2 episodes. That's what you were 3 episodes. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Um, but what was the question? What does good look like for you right now? Good look like what good looks like to me right now is finding my um like like let's just use working out. Like a good day is if you go to the gym and you run, Chief, right? Like you go to the gym, you lift and you run. That's a real good day. But what's an acceptable day, right? Like what's an acceptable day for today? We
Acceptable
all
or exceptional?
acceptable,
Acceptable.
acceptable.
Okay.
Yeah, like one. I would argue that lifting and running in the same day is exceptional. So, but what's acceptable? Like what's the because we're not always going to be able to do that every day. So it's like, so what is the minimum? Like, what if, as long as I do this, I'm okay. You know what I mean? I may not be able to run and lift today, but I rode for 20 minutes on the Peloton. So I did something. That's okay. So for me, I, I know what good looks like. I need to find a balance of so for instance, if I don't go to the gym, but I do 100 push-ups, I feel okay. Like that's acceptable. Like if I don't go to the gym but I do 100 push-ups, that's acceptable. I don't have that in every other aspect of my life. So I have what good looks like in all of them for the most part. Um, but I got to figure out like because there's not possible for every aspect of your life to be like at the highest point. Like it's gonna be like you ran and you lifted today, Chief, but you ate like shit, right? Or you didn't pick up the boys for as long as you wanted to because you were doing this, doing that. So I need to figure out what good looks or what good looks like. The what the bar for good is. That's a better way to say it. What the bar for good is. So it's like this is what good looks like, but this is okay too. Like
I like that.
that's that's what I gotta figure out. That's what good looks like for me right now is just figuring out what is, and I don't want to say the minimum, but what is acceptable. Like what
Mm-hmm.
is acceptable. Like that's good. this is also acceptable. If I do this, I can feel okay. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm at. Like that's where I got to figure out. And then I got to get I want to just stretch myself, man. I want to put some more things down. I think like I could do more. I could do more, and I'm my therapist would argue that I'm doing too much, but I feel like I could do more, which is a part of ego, overachieving. It's a part of all of that shit. But I'm gonna what good looks like for me is also taking care of myself, taking care of myself. So figuring out the acceptable level for every aspect of my life, taking care of myself, putting myself first. That's what good looks like for me right now.
All right, that's what's up. Fellas, as per usual, another good one. Let's go ahead and close this thing out, man. I appreciate how we stay on time and we ain't overwhelming people and just kind of sticking to what we know. P, let's jump right into our final thoughts. I'm gonna let you go first, B. Talk to us.
I need to wait for the next thing that holds value to me, and I need to work for it. I need to figure out what Bell just said, what good looks like for me on a daily basis, which is something I've never asked myself. I've
Mm.
always just assessed how my day went and then determined if I had a good day or not. But I love that advice. That's the biggest thing I got out of it was what Bell just said about figuring out the bar for good because I feel like that's a missing puzzle in my daily life. And yeah, I would say that's what's on my brain the most pertinent, and me working to find the next thing that will hold the same value and significance that my shoes do for me.
Mm.
Yeah, I need to work until I find that and be okay with not having anything. Like being okay with knowing that the only reason why I won't have anything that holds that weight is because I acquired something that did, and now it's time to move on and upwards to something else. So yeah, that's my final thought.
Go ahead.
Shit, I don't know, man. Have a plan. Like that was the whole part of this episode. Like just have a plan. It can be as loose as you need it to be, right? To not overwhelm yourself. But I think life is crazy. So we can unintentionally go at it haphazardly because that's what life will allow. Life will allow you just getting by. Life will allow you to just, you know, have an idea, but no plan or actions behind it. But just plan it, man. Like again, you don't have to be, a project manager in terms of your timelines and everything like that, but know where you want to go. That's it. Know where you want to go and make sure that your actions daily, weekly, monthly are indicative of where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to get in shape, then you probably should be implementing some type of cardio into your life, at some level. Again, don't overwhelm yourself with these hard deadlines, but just have a general understanding of where you want to go and where you want to be, and understand that the daily actions, weekly, monthly actions you take will be indicative of where you end up. Final thought.
For me, I wrote down a gang of stuff on my notes over here, but I think one of the big thing is find some comfort and peace and good in knocking out those short-term goals, but don't let them dissuade you from the big picture. And if you have a hard time identifying that big picture, take some time to sit down and put it down on paper and work your way backwards. But I think oftentimes just we get so caught up in chasing, like we talked about in the last episode, chasing these goals, and sometimes when we do achieve them, we don't give ourselves credit for that. But in the same token, when we do achieve them, we may lose sight of the big picture. And I don't want that to happen to any of us. So keep knocking out them goals, and just remember, there's a bigger picture to it all, and sometimes it's a lot bigger than what we may even realize. And there's a bunch of people looking at you as you chase this stuff. So be sure to lead with a good example. Fellas, as Bell likes to state in the beginning of our podcast or in the end, just to wrap it up, we all need to know that we've created this platform to be a safe space for Black men to openly engage in conversations surrounding mental health. Don't be afraid to talk, fellas. We are here to support you. You got a bunch of people willing to support you if you just speak up. If you just speak up, we can be reached on our voice line at 860-410-6160. 860-410-6160. Shoot us a text. I saw somebody, we missed a call from someone today. I'll reach back out, fellas, and text them and just make sure they're okay. We can be found on all social media outlets at All Black Men Need Therapy. If you want to talk to us individually, hit us up at Chief, Bell, or Prentice at abmnt.com, or the group at allblackmenneedtherapy@gmail.com. And that's all we got for y'all, man. Per usual, do us all a favor and hug a Black man today.
Do it.
And tomorrow.
Do it.
We out, y'all.
Peace.